Hey everyone, it's Bree. I'm back with another scrapbook process video for SpiegelMom Scraps. And I had just shown my code, it's Bree out of 15, and I will have a link to her shop in the description box below, so you can save 15% off on your next order. Today I'm going to be working with a cut file, and she does have free cut files in her shop, so definitely go check it out. She has a ton in there, and the possibilities are endless for a cut file. And if you don't have a silhouette or a cameo or a silhouette or a Cricut or any like a scan and cut or any cutting machine, you can definitely use, especially this specific cut file, you can definitely use dies or like punches, and you can create something very similar. So I am using some white cardstock, and I am of course just sewing up my paper to prepare for some mixed media. And that's the cut file again that I've chosen. And I chose that specific one because I did have an idea in mind as to what I wanted to do with it, and this one was perfect for it. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my background now. The first color I'm using is a Creamy by Shimmers, and the color is Trippin' in the Tropics, and this color is perfect. The collections I'm using are, a lot of it is from Pink Fresh Studio, Let Your Heart Decide, as well as I think BU, but it's mainly Let Your Heart Decide. I'm using my brand new Hip Kit Club kits that I received for February, and a lot of it has the Pink Fresh Studio elements in it. So I've got all my color down, and I've only added color to the outskirts of my layout because I knew most of it would be covered up by my cut file. I do plan on backing that entire cut file with some pattern paper, and I really just wanted the color to show on the edges of it, basically. So I've added another color, and that's a Shimmers in Bumblebee Bee, and it is super gorgeous and shimmery, and it'll be displayed nicely once everything is put together. So of course I'm adding my Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine because it's beautiful, and I add it to everything. So I've got, I'm pretty much satisfied with those colors. I did want a little bit of blue, or like, some mint going on. So I've added a Vibes in Jenny B Blue, and I just basically splatter it on. I don't put too much on it because I didn't want it to take over. I really wanted the Trippin' in the Tropics color to be, like the main character, or like the main color basically. So I'm just softening up some of the color, and I'm going to set my background aside so it can dry while I work on backing my cut file. So there it is again. This is the one I've chosen, and I will have to say, okay, so I backed every square with pattern paper, and I need more practice at it. It's quite tedious, the whole tracing and making sure that you don't trace it completely, because then it doesn't glue to it. It'll just go right through the hole, which I did a couple times on a different cut file that I had done on a different layout. So by this layout I had gotten some experience, and I hope to get better at it, but it is very tedious, and I did enjoy it. It was fun, but I did kind of cheat because the cut file that I did choose, they're all squares and they all have straight edges. It's not, funky round shapes or ovals or all that. So, I did make sure to choose one that I was able to use, I'd be able to back it, a little bit easier. And then as well as, my main intent, which you'll find out here in just a little bit. And I do save you from watching me back all my cut files, or back every frame. That way you don't sit here and it'll take me forever to do it. But I think you had seen, or maybe if you missed it, I'll point it out. But I had glued one of those pattern papers to the front of the cut file, and so yeah, that's me basically. I struggled, but I got it, and it was worth it, because when you see the the final product here in just a second, it came out really, really cute, and I love it. And there it is. And so my background is dry, and here is where you'll see why I picked this specific cut file. I'm going to make one of these little windows into a shaker element. And I had a piece of acetate, or like a transparency, that I cut out, and I glued it onto that window. And yeah, I think for transparency, like, do you remember, well, back in my day in high school, that's what my math teacher taught on, was one of those transparencies. So, yeah, on the overhead projector. Oh, those are the days. Oh, yeah, but anyway, so I have my acetate down, and I am sticking some Scotch foam tape down to frame it, to as a little frame for my sequins. And I'm going to double up the foam tape. That way, my sequins have room to move and not, and you know, that it's high enough. That way they're not just stuck and they don't really shake, because that's kind of sad when they, you know, I've done that before, trust me, where you think you have enough dimension, but you don't, and then your poor little sequins are just kind of stuck. So I did double up on my tape, and I am going to go in with my powder tool here to get rid of some of the stickiness on the side of the tape. If there's any exposed of the adhesive, I didn't want my sequins to stick. And then I was trying to get rid of some of the static as well, so my sequins could move freely. The 3 mixes that I'm going to be adding to my shaker element, the first one is Cotton Candyland, and the second one is going to be Wonderland, and the third is Just Because. And they're super pretty, they're super sparkly, and they match my layout. I think they do. I think they match perfectly. So I've added and then I'm going to close it up with a Project Life card. I was going to use some pattern paper, but the Project Life card was perfect because it matched my everything perfectly. So I'm just going through, and I found it. I'm like, oh, winning. I'm just going to use this one. And look, it just fits perfectly. So all I do is just trim the back of it, and I'm good to go. So I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm going to flip it over, and look. I love it. I love how it came out. So in order, since I have, the shaker, doubled up, I needed to add dimension to the rest of my layout. That way it was somewhat level and it didn't sink down onto my page. So I backed the rest of my cut file with some more Scotch foam tape, and I've added some extra adhesive to the back of my shaker, and there you go. And I'm super excited how it came out. I love it. I love the background. I love the colors and my shaker element. It's super, super fun. Okay, so that's the photo that I have chosen. It's of me and my youngest son. I think this was like 5 years ago. I printed it, I think, from Persnickety Prints way back when. And I thought it was super cool that I could print straight from Instagram. And yeah, so the colors match with the photo, and I love it. So I've added my photo on top of a Project Life card that says the story, and it framed it perfectly. It couldn't have come together any easier. And I'm treating each of those frames, or like little, I guess, yeah, they're like little windows. I'm treating them like windows, like little shelves. So Paintbrush Studio, I think it's Let Your Heart Decide. That's the ephemera pack. It has these really cute vases, and they're perfect. They're a perfect size for these windows. And honestly, I don't think it would have. It couldn't have come on a perfect layout, I guess. That, if I worded that correctly, it was just, everything was perfect, I guess. And I feel like I'm repeating myself when I say that, but it's true. I promise. They fit perfectly in those frames, so it looks like a bunch of windows, and it was fun. It was so much fun to embellish, and yeah. So, okay, I've added a peach on, like, to the right of my photo, and that comes from the Pick Me Up collection by Paige Evans with Pink Paisley. That's her newest collection, and we got these journaling cards in our kits, and it fit perfectly, in regards to color, and it was cute, and I don't think I would have used a peach in any other layout. And it doesn't really have anything to do with my picture, but it works. It works. Random fruit, but it works. I've got vases and this cute little gold foiled succulent cactus, so it works. All right, so I am also using these puppy stickers from Paintbrush Studio. I've got the leatherette stickers and these epoxy stickers as well. They're hearts, and I'm going to just kind of spread them out on my layout. I was considering using those Pick Me Up rub-ons, but the color scheme didn't really match. So I'm adding these epoxy heart stickers, and they're cute. They're really cute. I wish I had like 10 more sheets of those hearts. I didn't want to use all of them because I thought, okay, why don't you save them for some, other layouts. So I just use a few. Okay, so these chipboard stickers are from the Pick Me Up collection by Paige Evans, and I love them. They are sized perfectly. And my title of my layout is easy. It's happiness because, in the picture it is sheer happiness. We are having fun, and we always do, and it worked. It worked out great. And okay, so back to these chipboard stickers. They are perfect because they are smaller, and you get so much more than, just maybe 10 different pieces on the sheets like you normally do. But they're smaller, so I like smaller embellishments because I like to have a bunch of little clusters, and I like to sprinkle, and it was, I don't know, these were perfect for my layout. And I think I've said that like 20 times. This is my second time doing the voiceover. If you can imagine, I did the entire voiceover like A+. I felt real good about it, and I never hit record. So I was talking to myself for 14 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? This is the second time that I've done it. So I apologize if I keep saying, oh, this is perfect, it's perfect. I am repeating myself, but the verbiage in my first video was so much better. So anyways, okay, so I've added a few of the die cuts around like the floral elements, and I've glued everything down, and I, like I said before, I treated them like little windows, and the smaller embellishments just, were perfect for this layout. So not only did I want sequins in the shaker, I wanted them also scattered along or around my layout. I do love the look of it, and it's classic to be able to sprinkle your sequins around. And so I just placed them randomly. I picked the lightest pink from the Cotton Candyland mix, and I think it finished off my layout really nicely. Just, they're very subtle, but you can still see them, and they match nice. And that's basically everything that I do. I am going to come back in and add some more gold color shine, just for a little more shine and to get, a little more shimmer in there. But I did show you how my shaker works, and that, they are moving in their little box nicely. And stay tuned for some final photos. And that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to use my code Brianna15. I will have links for the cut file, SpiegelMom Scraps shop, as well as the specific sequin mixes that I used. Thanks again for watching, commenting, and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this process. And stay tuned for some more projects that will be up in the future. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.